We just gonna cut straight to the chase. It's response day. Y'all already know what it is. Kung Fu Kenny, old K-Dot, responded. 17 days later, but he did it in 5 less days than Drake. Drake responded 22 days later. But it's all good. Better late than never, right? You know, everybody was hounding my guy, talking about, you know, oh, he better respond before May, or he better respond before this, and that. We ain't trying to hear it on no album or nothing like that. Cut it. He responded. It is what it is. A few of y'all out there, y'all still hating, y'all still trying to throw shade on it, like, you know, like my man's didn't do work and all, but he did work. It is what it is. Now, there's some of y'all out there, I did see a few of y'all that was non-believers. Y'all believing now. Y'all ain't fully there yet. Y'all trying to just say like it was just solid. It was all right. But y'all acknowledging it. Whereas when he dropped like that, y'all was trying to say it was corny. Come on, let's be realistic. I don't know if some of them bars went over your head or whatever, but I personally feel like I'm gonna break some of this down. I took a few notes. I got a few notes, little things I jotted down on my phone right quick. Some notations that I want to discuss from some bullet points from the disc. But I honestly, personally, even though it was riddled with punches and entendres and everything like that, I feel like where he bodied him the most was basically calling him out as a man, as a human being. Cause you can't shoot down or completely disregard what this man was saying. Like, the whole narrative behind Drake and Kendrick all these years is like everybody wants to point out like how many hits Drake has or how many followers is following or whatever. But yeah, Drake is more popular, and yeah, he does have more hits, but his more hits is because he's more popular. He's more pop. He makes more popish music. So, whereas Kendrick has always been more respected in the hip hop community, as far as being true to the culture and being true to himself and not selling himself out, selling his soul, unlike other artists like a Drake. Like, if Kendrick was to do the things Drake did, then yeah, he could obtain that success. But Kendrick's not about to sell his soul. And that's basically what Kendrick was calling. He was shooting punches at him throughout the whole record, like about how he basically sold his soul. Like, you had to sell yourself to get to this point. I didn't have to do that. And I still got respect from my community. You got respect from the world. Whereas the first line, the introduction, when he came in, sounded like he was doing like some poetic, like spoken word type stuff. When he said, "I make music that electrify 'em, you make music that pacify 'em." That's a bar. That's a meaningful bar right there. Like I make music that enlighten and uplift the people, motivate the people to do right, do more, do better with life. You motivate people to continue doing ignorant nonsense. You motivate people to keep doing the wrong things in life. You know what I'm saying? You motivate people to, you know, all this. What's his song he got? The girls like girls or whatever, this and that, or I'm messing with this broad and doing this and that. That's Drake's music. That's Drake's music. He don't really rap about nothing inspirational. Ain't nothing uplifting or enlightening about nothing Drake do. Besides talk about his money he got, how much more money than the next person he's got, how many broads he's had, how many broads he's been with, this and that. That ain't Kendrick's lane, that ain't Kendrick's style. But because that's what the people want to hear. And that's what the machine wants the people to hear. That's what they push. That's what he creates. And that's what they push. That's why he has such a huge backing. Because he talks about all the things they want people like that to talk about, to keep everybody in that box. Keep everybody in that cell, that mental jail cell that they stuck in. And that's not what Kendrick's like. And that's why that bar was so impactful to me. And another bar later on in the song, that's why it was so impactful to me. Because Kendrick's like, yeah, you where you at. You had to sell your soul to be where you at. And all these people, you know, they praising you for being that deity, you know. But I ain't gotta do all that. I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna get the respect in my community and from the people that matter. And that's all that matters. And You know, and what else he said? Hold on, let me grab my phone. I got my phone right here real quick. Let me see what else he had. Oh, when he said you thought the money, the power, and fame would make you go away. That refers back to like that. When basically like when he was like, it's a lot of goofies with a check. It's back to the same thing. Like, just because you got all that money, just because you got all that fame, it don't mean a thing. Just because you got all that money and that fame don't mean a thing. Money only makes you more of what you already are. If you was already a cornball, you're going to be even more of a cornball. If you was already sassy, you're going to be even sassier with money. And I mean, it's only ironic. You can look at the way Drake conducts himself now versus how he was coming up. He showed flashes of sass and being corny when he was coming up. Like even when he was acting on Degrassi or whatever, you could see in interviews and stuff, you could see. But now that he has all this money and all this fame, all this popularity, he reckless with it. Now he can care less because he's like, you know what? I'm in this position of power. It don't matter what I do, they're gonna like me. So, hey, I'm calling him out on it. You still a cornball with a check. That money and that power ain't gonna make none of that go away. It is what it is. What else I got here? Oh yeah, I got when he got in his battle rap bag. When he said the bar about have you ever played, have you ever? Okay, let's play. That's basically like in the battle rap world when they say, let's play swear to God. And then they go back and forth, spitting the bars about swear to God, you ain't never this, and that, calling out personal stuff from their background. That's basically what he was doing. The same thing. He took it to the battleground. He letting you know, like right here, face to face, man to man, we battling. And this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is my energy. Let's see if you can match this. You know what I mean? Let's go a little deeper. When he said, hold on, let me see. The bar when he said his daddy a killer, he want to be Junior. They must have forgot the stuff they done. Dementia must run in his family, but let it get shaky. I'm Parkinson. For those that went over the head, when he said let it get shaky, dementia must run in their family, let it get shaky. I'm Parkinson. Parkinson's shaking disorder. Come on, man. Y'all stop playing with Kung Fu Kenny, man. Stop playing with Kung Fu Kenny, man. And see, that's another thing I'm gonna discuss. I don't know if I'm gonna delve into it because I got a couple topics I want to go pretty deep on during this episode. But that's another thing I want to talk about on how I need to do better with myself on the way I be talking about people that don't understand certain music. I be getting a little out of pocket with it, but not understanding or really comprehending, or just now comprehending myself that them people's brain wasn't trained like mine. So of course they're gonna think that kind of music that I listen to is trash because their brain don't operate like that. It's not trained to operate like that. And talking to the people that I talk to that don't understand certain things, it's clear. So it's like I guess I really shouldn't be talking down on people who's inferior as far as brain activity is concerned, because they just not trained like that. When you listen to it, you got people that listen to, like I said before, I don't listen to the radio no more. I control what I listen to. But when you got people that constantly throw on the radio training you what they want you to hear. So when you constantly listen to that same thing over and over and over and over for all these years, and you never thinking outside that box, you never allowing yourself to listen to other music that's going to make your brain be forced to function in a different manner, then of course you're gonna listen to some stuff that's so complex that you can't comprehend and be like, that's trash. So, but that's off topic. I'm about to get back on topic to these bars that Kung Fu Kenny produced for Aubrey J. Graham. So he said, what was the next bar he said? So I'm trying to get this in line. I might be a little off. There might be some gaps in this. I ain't chopping this podcast up, just so y'all know. Whenever the podcast air, y'all getting the podcast as it is. Now, when I do my clips, I chop my clips up. So you getting raw, authentic right here, right now. So, and yes, I did take notes. Got my phone here, right here. So, what he said, what's the next bar he said? Oh, the double entendre when he said, the very first time I shot me a Drake, the homie had told me to aim it this way. I didn't point down enough. Today I show how much I learned from those mistakes. Double entendre. The Draco. The first time he ever shot the Draco. The first time he ever shot a Drake. He didn't aim down enough. Like, I'm up here, you down there. I ain't aim further down enough. But man, boy, stop playing with Kung Fu Kenny, boy. Stop playing with Kung Fu Kenny. Then the bar about j.cole caught the strays. I was talking in the last podcast, it was a mistake. Shouldn't apologize. He's doing, you know what I'm saying? Should have just played the cut and ain't said nothing. You wouldn't have caught any of these strays. But that part when he was talking about praying that J.Cole and them was his real friends, because if not, he YNW Melly. Come on now. If y'all don't know the YNW Melly situation, go Google it. You'll understand. You ain't my real friend, you plotting on, I got you. I'm going to handle you. You're going to snipe. You know what I mean? Light work. It's all light. This ain't like the real authentic thing. This is all light. This is for play right here. What else he said? When he said, I ain't even going to get in that bar, because that bar going to lead into my next topic. So I'm going to say that bar last. But what he said? He said, I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. You gonna make me bring back Puff. Let's see if Chubbs really crashed something. Come on now. Now, if y'all don't know what he referring to with that, he basically meaning two different instances with Puff. He meaning the instances back in the gap where they allege that he got the hit, he put the hit out on Pot. Like, he gonna bring back the old Puff. He gonna get that hit out on him. Or he gonna bring back the old Puff, that altercation he had with Drake when he slapped that boy in his face and Drake came stumbling out of that arena or stadium, wherever they was at, fumbling money trying to get to him because he just got paws put on him by P. Diddy, the diddler. And he allegedly somebody peed on his leg. I don't know how true none of that is. I ain't gonna get into any of that, but I do know Diddy put his paws on him. And he came out there, he was all flustered and all over the place. So, he gonna make him bring the old Puff back. You want me to get Puff to put paws on you again? I don't know if you don't want them issues, you know what I mean? Then the bar about, now, to the casual fan, this probably went over your head. But this is a very easy bar to detect and decipher. But when he was talking about let your core audience stomach that, then tell them where you got your abs from. Your core. Let your core audience, not just your core audience, your core fan base. It's a double entendre. Your core fan base. We want you to let your core fan base know where you got your abs from. But also core in your abs is at the core of your body. The core, your abs. Come on, man. This is light work. It's light work. Kung Fu Kenny giving y'all light work out here, man. Headshots. Headshots for the year. You better walk around like Daft Punk. Come on, bro. Headshots for the year. You better walk around like Daft Punk. Daft Punk is a music duo that wears helmets 24/7. Headshots all year. You better walk around like Daft Punk. Stop playing. Stop playing with my guy Kenny, man. You know what I mean? Then he want to talk about, he started flipping stuff. He started flipping stuff on Drizzy. He said, let's speak on percentage. Show me your splits. I'll make sure I double back with you. You were signed to, who said he signed to that. You fill in the blank. You know what I mean? Now he did a flip. He did a flip of Pusha's bars, because Pusha gave them bars to Drake like that. He did a little spin-off on them. But I dare y'all to sit up there and say that this man recycling when y'all was just glorifying Cole for recycling a whole bunch of lyrics in his disc. So don't even go there with me. We not about to do that bias where like, oh, we gonna praise one, but then shoot down the other one for it. Nah, if you gave one love, get the other one love. So that man took that, he flipped that, because basically what he was doing, he spun Drake bar back around on him. You said you want to see my splits, well, let's see your splits. You was signed to, who said he was signed to that? Man, come on, man. It's levels. It's levels. And this the most meaningful one of all right here. This the most meaningful one of all. He said, why would I call around trying to get dirt on you? Y'all thinking my life's rap? That's whole business. I got a son I'm trying to raise, but you don't know nothing about that. Waking them up, you don't know nothing about that. And tell them to pray, you don't know nothing about that. And giving them tools to walk around through life day by day, you don't know nothing about that. Teaching him morals, integrity, discipline. Listen, man, you don't know nothing about that. Speaking the truth and consider what God is considering. You don't know nothing about that. That's man business right there. That's being an authentic human being. That's being trying to be a genuine, good-hearted human being and parent. He said, why would I consume my life with trying to go dig up dirt just to battle you and go back and forth with you and indulge in the nonsense you trying to indulge in, while I'm in my little peaceful corner over here trying to do the right thing, trying to be a man, trying to be a good father and raise my son the right way and show him how a man is supposed to be, show him how a father is supposed to be, and show him how a good human being is supposed to be in his life with morals, discipline, a lot of things. Not only some of you grown-ups lack, but some of your kids lack because you're not raising them like that. And that's part of the reason why a bar like that is weak to you, because you out here running the streets trying to flex, trying to get money, trying to shine, trying to be a real one, and neglecting your kid. So y'all look up to Drake because he doing the same thing that you trying to do. Kenny said, I ain't indulging in none of that. I'm trying to get my son right. I'm trying to get my spirit right with the man up above. And I'm trying to get my son right. Show him how to be and how not to be. What you doing? Where your son at? We probably wouldn't even know about your son if it wasn't for Push making you be a dad. You know what I mean? I mean, you did a song, put your son on a song, but other than that, what is you doing? We know what you always doing. You always with this bro. You always with that bro. You always. We know where you are. We know where you not at. Kung Fu Kenny say, hey, y'all can kill me all y'all want for disappearing for all these years, but I take time out to go raise my family. I take time out to go take care of my family. And that's the gut punch right there. That bar and the first bar that I broke down, just being a good human being, which the majority of you out there don't know what that is. Y'all got this perception of life that life is one big party. Like I gotta go party. And even if that isn't your perception, that life is just one big party, if you feel like you just have to go party or go through these other things that's wild and outlandish just to get your mind off of reality, that's garbage. They got plenty of things you can do to take your mind off of whatever it is that you got going on in life, instead of partying, clubbing, drinking, trying to smash this broad, that broad, running the streets and not raising your children, or trying to be a family man, or being an example for that child of yours at the house. But that's why y'all look up to Drake. And that's why y'all look down on Kendrick Lamar. Because it's the same narrative. It's the same narrative with all conscious rappers versus popular rappers. Everybody says the same thing. We ain't trying to hear all that. If I want to hear all that, I'll go to church. I'll listen to somebody preach. I'll go pull up a speech online, a motivational speaker online. I ain't trying to hear all that. I'm trying to get away from all that. It's an excuse. That's an excuse to enable you to continue doing what you're doing in your life. You don't want to do better. And the people that's up top, they know that. That's why they keep pushing these artists out there to keep y'all confined in that little box, so y'all constantly in the position that y'all in right now. And we ain't never getting better as a whole because of that. But hey, I digress. You know, you do you. I'ma do me. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, that's where old Dot's son Drake is, by just basically telling him, I'm a better man than you. You might be more popular, you might got more money, but I'm a better man than you. I'm better at life than you are. It's the moral of the story. I'm better at life than you are. And I dare somebody to tell me different. And then he also had the bar, which is one of my favorite bars, but it's also going to lead into another topic. I'm going to bring it up. Is when he said, am I battling ghosts or AI? I seen where people was pointing out like just the two references, but I feel like there's a third reference in that. When he said, am I battling ghosts or AI? He said, am I battling ghosts because am I battling your ghostwriter or your ghostwriters? Am I battling ghosts or am I battling your ghostwriters? This ain't no 20v1, this 1v20. And I'll slap you and your ghostwriters. Flipped another one of his bars on you. I'm going to take what you said and I'm going to flip it back on you. 20v1. Nah, it's 1v20. Going forward, hashtag 1v20. And I'll smack you and your ghostwriters. So yeah, that's what he was referring to, the ghostwriters aspect. And then he was also referring to the AI, because not just this last disc that he dropped, but the first disc. He didn't even directly put it out. He leaked it out there to see how people would take to it, to see how people would feel to it, and let everybody speculate whether or not it was AI or not. And then when he saw that people was starting to take to it, that's when he was like, all right, well, yeah, this mine, I did that. Whether it was AI or not, we still don't know whether it was AI or not. It could have been AI. And he could have just put it, oh, that sound dope, and put it out there. And if they take to it, then we're going to claim it. But we don't know. It's all speculation. I'm just speculating right now. But also, when he used the AI with the TaylorMade freestyle, when he used AI Pac and he used AI Snoop. But that's where I bring it back around and I say there was the third part where when he say battling ghosts, battling Pac, because he used Pac voice. So am I battling ghosts? Am I battling your ghostwriter? Am I battling ghosts? Like you going using past MCs to diss me? Or am I battling AI? Too nice with it. 1v20. Hashtag 1v20. Everybody in the live chat, hashtag 1v20. You know, it is what it is in the comments section. Because going forward, that's what it is. It's 1v20. But this AI, we got to get into this AI thing. Because AI is really starting to become a problem in music. Not even just music, just the world, period. I know y'all be on social media and everything and see everybody using all these AI apps to manipulate images and put their face on this. That's cool and all, that's whatever, that's one thing. But I'm talking about like AI and music. Because just a year ago, Guru was coming out before it became this big thing. And it's all because this one guy, he put out a sample of him on using an AI app to manipulate himself to sound like Kendrick. And Guru first said something about it, and nobody was taking him serious when it came to the AI Kendrick filter that was used. And then a couple months later, there was a track that came out where a guy used AI Jay-Z for one of his verses, and you couldn't decipher whether or not it was Jay-Z or not. And that's when Guru made a response again. Ninth Wonder responded. A whole bunch of people responded because it was this big ordeal that, like, how are we even going to be able to distinguish the real person from AI going forward? There has to be some kind of parameter around this, or else people going to legitimately put stuff out there and have other people thinking that they were featured with said artists, and that wasn't the case. So again, nobody paid no attention to it. They just let it play the back burner. Slowly but surely, you started hearing a whole bunch more like AI used voices come out, but you could tell it was AI. Like they sound good, but they weren't great. So you could tell that it was AI. But then the bombshell happened, which was probably like what 8-9 months ago. I can't really remember specifically, but I forget who the person was. Whoever it was, they had a sheet on their head. The thumbnail was a picture of them with a sheet on their head and some sunglasses or something like that, where he dropped AI Drake featuring the Weeknd track, and this thing blew up. You can clearly tell it was AI because the beat, like it wasn't no professional thing. He even put the young Metro tag on it and everything like that. Couldn't tell it if it was AI Drake or real Drake. And this thing turned into a hit. He had it up on Spotify everywhere. And Drake and his people demanded that they had this thing taken down. Rightfully so. This AI, I'm against this whole AI thing. I'm against it. I am for it in one instance, and I'm gonna break that down here in a second. I am for it in one instance, but I had a brain fart real quick. But they demanded that these people take it down, rightfully so, and they made such a big scene about it. But here we are 8-9 months later, and we playing with AI. We leaking stuff out there and letting them believe that it's AI. Then we doubling back and we doing another record actually using AI. But weren't you just the same people that was demanding for this person to pull it down? And now you trying to usher it in? I don't like, not even just Drake. I even heard Timbaland mention something about wanting to usher in AI. Stop playing them games. We can't play them games. Like wanting to bring back the dead with, it's not coming from the dead. So whether or not you use their voice or not, it's not coming from the dead. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear somebody impersonating them and then using the AI filter to make it seem like it's them. No. And shame on Drake and his people for wanting to usher this thing in like it's something that's cool, when it's not. The only time I feel it should be acceptable or necessary to be able to use AI or even usher it in is in the event you have a situation like the DOC or even with Beanie Siegel, former artists that would like to put out new music, but they went through something traumatizing and their voice isn't the same. And you'd like to replicate, put out new music. That's when I feel like it's a good idea, because then you're not using somebody else's voice. You're actually using AI to pick up their original voice, and they're performing the music and using the AI technology to bring their voice back to life. That's what I accept. That's what I can appreciate about AI. All this other nonsense that people is doing with this AI, and it's going to lead to a whole lot more stuff. Like, it started with the deep fake nonsense, where we could deep fake celebrities, images, their faces, and put them on different bodies and everything. That's one thing. But now we can generate their voice too. So now we gonna be, when something comes out like a sex tape gets leaked or something like that, how we gonna know if it's real or not? When this technology is getting so good that you can't tell the faces when they deep fake, and then now you can put a voice to it. I know a lot of you have seen a lot of these clips where people do makeshift clips of athletes and post-game press conferences and stuff, and they saying some outlandish stuff, like the stuff with Andy Reid with Kadarius Toney before the Super Bowl, the stuff here recently with KD, like Like a lot of that you can tell is AI. Some of it you can tell is AI, but some of it be so good and spot on. You have to sit there and look and really analyze it and be like, is that AI or is that the real deal? But when it's getting so close to the fact that it's indistinguishable, like, we got a problem on our hands. And again, everybody's just going to sit back and they're going to ignore it. So when the time comes and it's too late, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear none of that. Now, also, shout out to Tennessee. Shout out to Tennessee. I want to say it was March 21st this year. They became the first state to enact a law, the Elvis Act. I took notes. Hold on, let me grab my phone. I took notes. I came prepared. I come prepared for things like these. You know what I'm saying? I can't just come delve straight into the podcast scene and not take notes. So the Elvis Act, it will basically, the Elvis Act in Tennessee passed a law that protects musicians' voices from unauthorized impersonation by artificial intelligence. When the Elvis Act goes into effect July 1st, 2024, it will be illegal in Tennessee to replicate an artist's voice without his or her consent, and creators will be able to sue for damages if their voice is replicated without authorization. Shout out to Tennessee, and more states need to get on that. Because we have to put something in place to prevent people from believing that they can just easily get away with this. Like, you can't just easily put AI at the end of Drake's name or AI at the end of Jay-Z's name and put it out there and think that it's cool because you acknowledging that it's AI and not the real person. Nah, stop playing with these people like that. If they didn't give you permission to use their name, image, and likeness, don't use it. It should be illegal everywhere, and everywhere should put in that law. So I applaud Tennessee for doing that. And to all you other states, get on the ball. Because, I mean, technology is only getting better and better by the day. And people are learning how to use it and manipulate it more and more daily. So don't get so far behind the 8 ball that they are like 25 steps ahead of you and can figure out some kind of loophole around your law. Because that's what's happening. And it happens all the time, whether it be this or anything else. If you take too long to figure out a solution for a problem, well, guess what? Those people that were already the problem are going to figure out loopholes around your problem. So, off topic, or on to the next topic. What else I got lined up? While we still on the music tip, I know it was something else music related. That's why I know my topics off top, but I couldn't figure out what was the other music related topic I wanted to speak on, but I figured it out. Good thing I got my bullet points right here. Old school music. I wanna bring up, why am I bringing up old school music, you ask? I'm bringing up old school music because it's always been this thing since like we were younger, since we were kids. I mean, you kind of get older and you mature past that. I would like to think nobody my age or older or around my age or older thinks like this. If so, you have an extremely adolescent mindset and you eventually need to grow up. But there's always been this thing, this stigma since we were younger, that you can only play music that is current or within that current range, or else you get laughed at or you get clowned for listening to throwback music. Music is timeless. There should be no stigma about playing music. If I'm riding around listening to Stand Up by Ludacris, I shouldn't anticipate getting laughed at. I should be anticipating somebody rocking out with me. Oh, I remember, hey, I'm about to put that on what? I'm about to put that in rotation. That was my jam back then. If the record still has replay value, it should be replayed. Like a majority of the music that I listen to, because I don't rock with a lot of this modern music, is throwback music. Fortunate enough for me, though, a lot of the throwback music that I listen to, it's a lot of underground artists that I listen to. So I probably could be playing it and nobody even really know that it's throwback anyways because they don't listen to the artist. But if it is something like if I'm riding around listening to Get Rich or Die Trying, which that's probably a bad example because who not still listening to that? But if I'm riding around listening, If I Ruled the World, probably another bad example. But I don't know. To some of these kids or to some of these other people that might look at it and be like, oh, he listening to that old throwback. He get with the times or whatever. I remember back in the day, you get laughed at 24/7. I still see people talking about, hey, listen to old school music. Music is timeless. There's no period of time or cutoff of when you should stop listening to music. If it's good music, you should forever be able to listen to good music. Bump all that current nonsense. You got to listen to whatever's current. No, that's a stigma that they want you stuck in that mindset. You shouldn't be stuck in that mind frame. Open up that box. Open up that brain of yours and have a brain of your own. And that's another thing. It's in kids and younger adults because they're so easily influenced by other people's opinions of them and other people that they want to be considered cool, so they won't listen to it, even if they do feel like it's good music. They won't listen to it because they don't want to be looked at in a certain manner. Be yourself. Be your own person. Don't worry about the judgment of another person. They got other things going on in their life. So learn to think for yourself. I'm not even staying on this topic too long because, like I said, it's point blank period. There's no time stuff on music. It doesn't make you cool or not if you listening to music from early 2000s or mid 90s or late 80s compared to listening to music in 2024. If it's good music, it's good music. It has replay value. You can replay it at any given time. But that's about it on my music spiel. I'm gonna jump straight. One thing since I'm about to dive head first into since I'm about to look, I'm looking at my notes trying to look, and I forgot I got my little order up on the side. I'm glad I stuck to the order though, because I'd be screwed right now if I jumped off topic. But D-Lo, we're gonna get on D-Lo. Why am I talking about D-Lo if y'all probably wondering, why would I just be randomly be talking about D'Angelo Russell? For those who don't know, don't watch sports, or if you do watch sports and you didn't see this coming, yes, I'm talking about D'Angelo Russell. Is he done? He should be done. He should be done. Why do I say that? Yeah, he's gifted, but I saw something in him a long time ago. I ain't messed with him since. And everybody else, oh, you got to give him a chance. He's young. When he did Nick Young, how he did Nick Young. And he recorded that man and basically admitting his infidelities or whatever. When Nick Young was still with Iggy Azalea. Recorded this man. This supposed to be your teammate. This supposed to be your brother. Recorded this man and then leaked that stuff out there and then ended up ending a relationship. Everybody else is like, oh no, he's young. It's a mistake. When you do something like that, nah, that ain't just young and just a mistake type of deal. That's, you got something else going on. You know, certain people or kids in general. I'm not saying he's a kid, but he was a kid then. But kids, they have a certain age that a child gets to, that if you didn't instill those values and those certain things in them before they got to that age, once they got to that age, they stuck. Unless somewhere down the line, they eventually learn on their own and decide they want to have a change of heart, they stuck. And he was stuck. I realized then in that instance, he's stuck. This is a very immature kid. And doing something like that, that's going to stick. But no, everybody's young. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. And everywhere he's gone, he's shown some kind of immaturity about him. And I think that affects his play too. You could see the immaturity in his play. But all of that's been magnified here. What game was that? I want to say that was game 3. I think that was game 3. Yeah, that had to be game 3. When he was sitting off away from his team at the end of the game, eating or snacking on whatever he is snacking on, eating, just whatever. I could care less. It is what it is. That's clown behavior. I don't care how you feel towards your teammates, the coaches, or whatever. That's clown behavior. And if I was any other team in the league, I wouldn't be picking this dude up at all. And if the Lakers keep him on their team, they deserve everything they got coming to them. Because you ain't learned your lesson. And it's their second go around with this fool. Immature. So, and he got to be in his 30s now? I don't know. These dudes, when they enter in the league, they be young as all hell. So I don't know. He either in his 30s or he approaching his 30s. Well, by the time you get to that age, you stuck. You can make excuses for him earlier on because he was like 19, 20. You can't make excuses for him now. So, while we still on sports, the condition of athlete, I have this conversation all the time. I've had this conversation with my pops. I've had this conversation with coworkers. I've had this conversation with friends. The condition of the modern athlete is worrisome. It's something to think about. I was telling my dad, I don't ever recall when I was younger ever seeing any gruesome injuries like you see now. I can't remember a time where I saw a gruesome injury when I was younger, growing up. But now it's like they not only happening, but they happening often. I don't mean just like football. I mean football, basketball, you name it. You seeing legs snapped, arms snapped, just bodies being contorted and knees being bent in the opposite direction. Now some of that, yeah, you can say get their leg being planted in the wrong direction. But I mean, you could go back to the Kevin Ware situation when he was just trying to block a shot. And when he came down on the ground, nobody came down on him. He didn't come down awkward. His leg just snapped. And the bone is just sticking through the leg. And it's just dangling. All of these athletes that's having these same injuries, these ankles, these legs that's getting completely snapped and broken, it's happening all too frequent. Is it the nutrition? That's what I want to know. I want y'all's feedback in the comments. Is it the nutrition? Is it the constant strenuous activity on the body from playing consistently your entire life, the same exact thing? That's another thing me and one of my coworkers spoke about, is he feels like, and I told him it was a good point, he feels like it has a lot to do with these players, like the basketball players, for instance, and also baseball players and stuff. From a kid, like when we were kids, we played multiple sports. So like we played basketball, and when basketball season was over, we played football or we played baseball or whatever. But we were always active, but it was different things. It wasn't the same constant repetitive motion and same constant repetitive activity versus these kids. They're playing one sport and they're playing it year round, constantly. It's constant jumping, constant same rotation in your arms, constant same activity in your feet and your knees and stuff like that. You got to wonder eventually all that stress, and that's another thing. A lot of these injuries, these gruesome snaps and breaks, they come from a hairline fracture. That's what it comes to. When the situation happened with Kevin Ware, because I remember I did research on that. Well, a doctor said that those injuries occur whenever there's a hairline fracture and the proper rest needed isn't acquired. So when you keep putting stress on that bone and you have a small fracture in it, eventually that small fracture is just going to completely give. So you combine that with the idea that these people are doing the same repetitive motions constantly throughout the whole year, over and over again, ever since a toddler up until now, eventually that's gonna overflow and give way. So I don't know what y'all think. What's y'all's opinion? That's what I want to know. Y'all give me feedback in the comments section, and I can revisit this again later on the next episode, or I'll go back and forth with y'all during the live stream or during in the comments section. But yeah, I think that's something that needs to be addressed, because we keep trying to instill all these rules and these different measures to protect the athlete, when is the athlete even really protecting itself to begin with? That's a question we have to ask. Are the athletes protecting themselves? So yeah, I don't think even though the athletes of today are pretty much the most conditioned athletes, I don't think their condition is the best, in my opinion. You let me know, did you see a lot of crazy gruesome injuries like that when you were young? Because again, it's not just football. It's not just from being tackled awkward ways. You see it in basketball too. You saw it when Gordon Hayward had it years ago on opening night of the NBA for the Celtics. When he came down awkward, he just came down awkward and his ankle snapped the opposite way. It happened to Nurkic, Isaiah Cannon. Like, the list goes on and on. Like, so yeah, I think that's something we should delve into. Some research needs to be done, and some measures can be taken to help protect them athletes from themselves, or prevent them from putting themselves in harm's way later on down the line. Speaking of athletes, or the sports topic, I hate Dallas Cowboys fans. I really do. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. And I'll say that because, and this is coming from a Dallas Cowboys fan. I know. Oh snap! Hold on. My bad. I knocked over my light for a second, real quick. But this coming from a Dallas Cowboys fan. I hate Dallas Cowboys fans. I really do. Every year I'm reminded why I'm starting to like my own fan base a lot less. Every year I'm reminded of it, and why everybody else hates us so much. Not all Cowboys fans. Because I know quite a few. I have my own group on social media that we all congregate. But the group, I go through a whole process to pick your brain to see where you at mentally, to see if you fit in with this group of Cowboys fans. If you realistic, if you ain't one of them fair weather fans, or one of them fans that just think that they can't do nothing wrong, and anybody that says anything wrong about them is no. There's a whole process. If you fit the mold, you welcome in the family. If not, take that elsewhere. But it's the fans like y'all that make everybody else hate us, and make everybody else want to see our downfall, and root for us to lose, and laugh at our pain. And I can't stand y'all either. So nobody told me starting a podcast was going to get you in trouble, but man, this got me in some trouble. So on my last podcast, episode 1, first round, I had a talking point about the state of the Cowboys. And I was asking if Jerry really wanted to win. And I said, I didn't feel like he wanted to win. I felt like what he cared about was money. And I gave my examples in the video why I felt like he cared more about money and popularity than he did actually about winning. So, in promotion of the podcast, I'll chop up clips of the different segments I was talking about, and then I would post them all throughout social media: TikTok, Twitch, X, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. spreading it all around, all leading back to the podcast to get everybody to come back to watch the podcast. Because if I'm posting a clip and I'm chopping it up, obviously it's not the whole thing and there's more information to it. So maybe I should go check out the whole thing to see the extent of it. But even if you don't and you ask me to elaborate and I elaborate, I'm going to let you know the gist of pretty much what I was talking about. So there was one clip in particular where I was talking about the whole Jerry Jones situation. I chopped up a clip and I spread it around. I shared it in a couple groups. I shared it in my Cowboys group. I shared it in another Cowboys group. Well, one of the guys on there, I guess he happens to be an admin in there. He takes a screenshot of it and he shares it and tags me. It's like I was unable to comment for some reason, but what makes you believe that Jerry only cares about money? So I elaborated. I wasn't trying to tell him, hey, go watch the video to find out. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and let him know. So I gave logical enough reasons, facts. I gave him facts. I gave him examples. I said pretty much everything that happened within the past 3 or 4 years has shown me that they don't really care. They're not, when the time comes for them to make off-season acquisitions or in-season acquisitions, they use the salary cap or we like our guys as an excuse. While people that's in the same position, like their competitors, the Eagles and 49ers, they constantly making moves. And they got a quarterback under contract. And even though the 49ers quarterback is on a rookie contract, before he was on that rookie contract, they had Garoppolo. He was getting paid. But they still went out and got Christian McCaffrey. And they still went out and got all these other pieces with no issue. The Eagles, they constantly adding. You wouldn't think, even now, here recently, you wouldn't think that they in cap hell, the way they just went and re-signed A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and signed Saquon Barkley in free agency. But what we doing? So he was trying to say, something about our cap and this is we gotta pay Dak and we gotta pay CD and we gotta pay Mike. I understand that. I hear all that. But a lot of these teams, if you would have saw the position the 49ers was in last year, the people that they were paying, you would look at their salary situation and be like, how are they not negative right now? Even with the Eagles. The Eagles paid Hurts last year. But guess what? They continue to add. They went and got Kevin Byard. They went and got Darius Leonard. They do what is necessary while we don't do nothing. So everything I said, he kept having a rebuttal. Because I even talked about in the last podcast, I wanted them to clear house. I wanted them to restart. Because in my opinion, I'd rather go through a rebuild and be sorry and suck for 3-4 years, maybe even 5 years, if we got to completely clean the whole thing up and rebuild culture. Because I done seen teams go through rebuilds and then get back to winning success while we just stay good enough. We stay good enough to compete, but not good enough to win. Because if we good enough to compete, we constantly being talked about, which keeps the popularity up, which keeps the money being drawn in. But I done seen the 49ers go through 2 rebuilds. They were sorry for years. Then got good when Harbaugh got there. Was good his whole entire time there. Then he left, went to Michigan. They got sorry again. Well, then Shanahan gets there, and he builds them back up. So they back good again. So, and they done been to what? 2 Super Bowls. 3 Super Bowls. 3 Super Bowls in that span, multiple NFC championships. And they had 2 rebuilds. They were sorry twice. But we just somehow stay afloat, stay in contention. So I'm explaining this to this dude. So then he starts name calling. So I'm laughing at him. So then he brings up the 3 straight 12-win seasons. You do realize that we won 12 games 3 straight years in a row. I said, yeah, I realize that. I also realize we're the only team in NFL history to win 12 games 3 years in a row and not make an NFC championship or a Super Bowl. So I keep spitting out these facts, and now he's just making derogatory remarks, and I'm laughing, reacting to it. So now I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna reply, yep. So I just start replying, yep, to everything. You right. Laugh and react, yep, you right. And he just starts name calling even more, and I'm laughing at him. Because in my mind, again, like I told y'all before on the last podcast, and then also on my live stream, people that like to insult you, make fun of you, or joke with you, they only trying to get a rise out of you to make them feel better about themselves. They hiding something in. They got something internal that they going through. So me personally, none of that affects me. If anything, I'm gonna flip it around and I'm gonna be sarcastic. I'm gonna be a jerk and just laugh and agree with you, basically playing mind games with you. And I guess that was enough to be the tip of the iceberg, because all I did was keep laughing, reacting to him, and telling him he was right. And this dude blocked me and kicked me out the group. I said, wow, this podcast got me getting kicked out of groups I've been a part of for years now. But it wasn't meant for me to be in that group in the first place, because that was one of them groups where I'd see a lot of them fans posting some of that delusional stuff, non-realistic stuff. But it's fans like that. It's fans like that that make everybody hate the Dallas Cowboys. They hate the Dallas Cowboys because they hate us, and I can't blame them. I can't blame them, because I hate us too. I hate us too. Well, I ain't gonna say a majority. I'm gonna say half of us, because I'm gonna say half are realistic. It might not even be half. It might be 30% of us that's realistic fans. But yeah, some of y'all out there, this dude, I ain't even gonna put his name out there, but in the event that he runs across this clip, yeah, I'm talking about you. But I will tell y'all, I will say, the group is called My Smart Cowboys Family, something like that. So if you're in that group, yes, I'm talking about your group, and I'm talking about your admin. He's a piece of work. He got some growing up to do. I don't know how old the guy is, but golly, I know my 9-year-old son conducts himself better than that. We got to get it together. But I ain't gonna talk y'all's ear off too much longer. Like I said, I try to keep these podcasts. I'm trying to keep these podcast episodes about an hour long or so. I ain't trying to go overboard with them. Who knows? Maybe down the line I may drive it up a little longer, but as of right now, that's gonna be it. I'm cutting on that. You know, I done went through everything. Kung Fu Kenny come back with a treat for the day. You know, he blessed us with the response, gave us that heat. Now it's up to Drizzy Dre Graham. See, we come back with, you know what I mean? And poor j.cole. I feel bad for my dog j.cole. He's out here catching strays. He can't win for losing right now, but my dog gonna bounce back. He gonna bounce back. Cole, we gonna bounce back. We gonna bounce back. But it's some warfare going on right now. It's some Marvel Comics Civil War going on right now in the music industry, and I love it. Especially now that we got Kendrick that responded back to Drake. Now it's like everybody else, y'all get out the way. Let the big boys play, y'all get out the way. But yeah, that's been my time. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the Rio West Podcast. Y'all be sure to go check out Foundation. It's my latest EP on all streaming platforms. If you haven't done so already, please do check it out. Like, subscribe, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, Twitch, wherever. All them icons on the screen, follow me everywhere. And follow me on Spotify, follow me on Apple Music, you know? Support your boy. Go check out Foundation. Check out my videos. They also on my channel too. Adolescence. Still Dreaming too. Evil Ways Freestyle. We in there. So for anybody who is just now tuning in because of the podcast, you might have came here because of a clip you seen or something somebody referred you. If you're not familiar with my music, check it out. It's a vibe, I promise you. But it's been real. I appreciate y'all. Y'all take it easy. Peace.